What is up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm sharing some things you should know before you rent Disney Vacation Club points. Now, if you are unfamiliar with renting Disney Vacation Club points, this is a great place to start, but I also have a beginner's guide on renting points. So it'll walk you through the process from start to finish and explain what renting DVC points is. So definitely check that video out if you want to hear about the process a little more in depth. So I will have that linked for you. I also have an entire playlist of videos dedicated to renting DVC points. So absolutely check that out as well. I also want to mention that if you are considering renting DVC points, I always recommend David's Vacation Club rentals. We have worked with them countless times. We have booked many trips with them, and every single time has been an incredible experience. They have excellent communication and they're just amazing. So this video is not sponsored by them or anything like that, but I do have an affiliate link with them down below. So if you are planning on renting points, I would love for you to use my link. It doesn't cost anything extra for you, and I do make a very small commission on that, and everything goes right back into this channel. So before we dive in, I would love for you to click that red subscribe button and go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me out. And let's go ahead and dive in. All right, so I have basically compiled all of the questions that I frequently get on renting DVC points into this video. So let's start with the first thing you should know before you rent DVC points, which is you can only rent DVC points at DVC Resorts, which I know seems obvious, but you cannot rent points at value or moderate hotels. You can only rent DVC points at DVC Resorts. So for instance, if you are interested in the Contemporary, you would not actually stay at the Contemporary, you would stay at the DVC property, Bay Lake Tower, which is connected right next door. Another example would be the Grand Floridian. There are dedicated buildings just to DVC studios, 1 and 2 bedrooms and grand villas, and then the other buildings are dedicated to the hotel rooms. So basically every deluxe resort is going to have its own DVC section. With the exception of the Yacht Club, you will not find DVC villas there. And then for the Riviera, Old Key West, and Saratoga, those are dedicated DVC resorts. So the entire property is going to be DVC rooms. So I hope that makes sense, but you can only rent points at DVC Resorts, which are deluxe resorts. You cannot rent points at value or moderate hotels. The next thing to know before renting DVC points is that you actually receive all of the same on-site perks and amenities as guests who book directly through the website. So it's exactly the same. You get access to early theme park entry, as well as early access into your dining reservation window, meaning you book 60 days out plus the length of your stay. And because you're staying in that deluxe resort category, you also get access to extended evening hours. Another perk for DVC Resort guests only is that you don't have to pay for parking at your resort. So whether you own the points or you are renting the points, you show up as a DVC Resort guest, meaning you do not have to pay for parking at your resort. The next thing to know before renting DVC points is that payment is required in full upfront. And I know this deters a lot of people away from renting points just because it doesn't offer the flexibility of a payment plan or being able to put down a deposit and then paying your remaining balance at check-in. So you do have to pay in full upfront. That's just how DVC rental reservations work. With David's Vacation Club rentals specifically though, when you submit your reservation request, you do submit a $133 partial payment. This also works as your deposit in a sense as well. And once your reservation is secured, then you would pay your remaining balance within 24 hours of that reservation being booked. So that's basically how the reservation process works. If they are not able to secure that reservation, you would receive that $133 directly back to you. The next thing to know before you rent DVC points is that DVC rental reservations are non-refundable. This one's definitely a bummer, but again, it's helpful to know. One option would be to add travel insurance. I know that David's does recommend a travel insurance company on their website, so that is something to consider or factor into the total cost of your trip. But if you are needing your dates to be flexible, or you're just not quite sure if the trip is going to happen or not, renting DVC points may not be the best fit for you, and it might be better to go another route. But just know up front, those rental reservations are non-refundable. The next thing to know before renting DVC points is that these reservations cannot be modified. So whatever you book, that is the reservation that is locked in. So you are not able to add on a night, subtract a night, change your room type, modify the resort you're staying at. Whatever that reservation is, that's what it has to stay. One thing we've done in the past though is if we have, let's say, a 4-night stay in a standard view at the Polynesian locked in, and we decide later on that we want to add on a couple more nights, you can make a separate DVC rental reservation for those extra nights. You can either make it at the same resort, or you can do a split stay and stay somewhere else. So we've done that in the past to extend our vacation if we want to add on dates, but just know that when it comes to subtracting dates, you can't do that. You can only add on an additional reservation, but whatever rental reservation you have locked in, that's what it has to be, and it cannot be modified. The next thing to know before you rent Disney Vacation Club points is that tickets are purchased separately. So this is not your normal Disney package where everything is included in one lump sum. Basically, you are piecing together your vacation, and it just takes a couple extra steps, but trust me, the money you save, I think it's worth it. But specifically with your park tickets, what you'll do is just purchase them directly from the Disney website or Undercover Tourist, however you want to buy your tickets, and then link them up with your travel dates. So it's just an extra step. It really doesn't take much more than 2 minutes, but it is helpful to know that tickets are purchased separately and you're not buying a package from Disney. You're just piecing together your resort stay, your tickets, your transportation, all of that will just be pieced together separately. But just know you cannot factor in tickets with your DVC rental reservation. You'll have to purchase those separately. The next thing to know before renting DVC points is about the dining plan. Now, as of right now, April 2022, there is no word on when the dining plan will return, but I do believe it will return, so I wanted to go ahead and include it in this video anyway. I'm going to share how it works to add on the dining plan. Bear with me, there's a few steps to it, so here we go. Basically what you're going to do, if you've decided that you want to add on the dining plan to your DVC rental, what you'll do is contact David's, the third party, let them know that you want to add on the dining plan, and they will let you know what the total cost of that will be. Next, you'll provide your credit card information to David's. David's will provide that information to the owner that you have booked through. So you are never in contact with the owner. David's will always be the mediator between the two of you. So the owner is going to take that payment information and they are going to purchase the dining plan on your behalf and add it to that reservation. So one thing I like to add too is that if you are not comfortable with providing your credit card information to a stranger, which is essentially what you're doing, another option would be to purchase a Disney gift card in the total amount of the dining plan and provide that gift card information to David's to provide to the owner instead. So that's another route you could go, but either way, the owner will have to purchase the dining plan on your behalf, whatever your choice of payment is, and then from there it'll link up with your reservation and you have all of your dining plan credits for your stay. So that is basically how the dining plan works. I know it sounds complicated or like it has a few steps to it, but I promise David's makes it so easy. We've added the dining plan on before and it worked perfectly. We had no issues with it and they made it so simple. So that is how the dining plan works when it comes to DVC rental reservations, but it is helpful to know up front that the owner of the points you are renting will have to book it on your behalf. And the last thing to know before you rent DVC points is that you should plan to book 11 months out. DVC inventory flies, and I know for some it seems crazy to book your vacation a year in advance, but that's what it takes if you have specific travel dates that you're hoping for or a specific resort and room type that you're really wanting, especially a studio. Those go really quick, but if you wait closer to that 7-month mark, there's not going to be as much available. And if you are trying to rent DVC points in 6 months or less, I would be pretty flexible with your dates and add several resort options questions, you can add your number one and kind of a couple backup resorts, room types. Just be really flexible, because again, there's not going to be quite as much available once you get past that 7-month window. So it's definitely to your advantage to book 11 months out, even get your request in 1 week prior to that 11-month mark, just so they have your request in and ready to go, and you can rent points and get exactly what you're hoping for. All right, well, that is it for everything that you should know before you rent Disney Vacation Club points. I hope this was helpful, and I hope this helped answer some of your questions. If you do have more questions, please leave them down below in the comments. I would love to be a resource for you. And if you are considering renting DVC points, definitely check out David's Vacation Club rentals. I'll have my link with them listed down below in the description box. So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. And I think that's it for today, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.